Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Please, if you've not subscribed to this channel, kindly do so for more sewing content. So in today's tutorial, we're going to be making a gown for a 5-year-old. As you can see, this gown, the fabric had already been cut according to the length of the child, and has already been placed on 4 folds too. The first 2 fold representing the front piece and then the back piece too. So this line we are taking here is our shoulder line measurement. So our measurement, we are going to be taking our measurement around that line. First things first, we're taking our shoulder measurement, which is 6 inches. And then we'll go ahead to take our armhole measurement, which is about 5.5 inches. And after that, we connect the lines and then make a curve for the armhole. So the next measurement you're taking is our chest measurement. That's about 8 inches. And then for the neck, we're taking, for our neck width, we're taking about 2.5 inches there. And then for the neck depth, we are taking, I think about let's just take about 2.5 inch too, because we don't want, okay, 3 inches, sorry, because we don't want it to be too deep down. And then we'll go ahead to connect those lines together to give us a neck measurement. And then now we are going to go ahead to draw that slant line all the way down for the length of the gown. And then another important thing is to always remember to remove the shoulder, on the shoulder measurement, to take out half inch to give it that slant, just like so. Then for the back piece, which, because we are going to be attaching zip, we are taking 1 inch for our zip allowance, and then we'll go ahead to cut that out. Then we also cut out all other measurements from there. And then that's all we have. So for the front piece, we'll cut out the measurements we had. And then for the back piece, we are going to come down just a little bit. We're not going to be taking it down deep. So we are going to be making it, say, about 1.5 inch for the back. And that's it. We had already gone ahead to cut our lining for the fabric, as you can see. So to begin to sew, first things first, we'll join our fabrics together. That's shoulder to shoulder first. That's the main fabric. We're going to join the shoulder of the main fabrics together first. And then we'll do the same thing to our lining, just like so. Now we're done joining. This is what it looks like. That's the main fabric, and this is the lining on top. Now I'm placing the lining on the main fabric with the right sides facing each other. We're going to go ahead to join to sew the neck, round neck. But then we are going to leave about 1 inch for the sewing, for the zip allowance. We are not going to sew up that part. Yes, that's for the back piece. As you can see where I placed my hand, that's about 1 inch. We'll go ahead and leave that. And then now we are done sewing. This is what it looks like. Remember, we didn't sew it complete. We left about 1 inch for the zip allowance. We left it open. And now we are going to be joining the armhole measurement, the armhole. So to sew the armhole, we're going to do it just like so. I hope you understand that, just like that. We'll bring that together, making sure that the joinings are facing each other and it's right side to right side, just like so. Then we'll go ahead and sew. That's for the armhole, one side of the armhole. Now we're done sewing. This is what we have. So we'll go ahead to bring it out just like so. As you can see, here we're done. Then for the second part of our armhole, we're going to do the exact same thing, placing our fabric like this and picking up the main fabric just like so and pushing the lining under. Please watch carefully so you would understand. And then we'll go ahead to sew just like we sew when we sewed the other one, making sure that the right side is facing the right side. That's the right side of the lining is facing the right side of the fabric, because it's really important. And now we are done sewing. This is what we have. So we'll go ahead to bring that out to the right side just like so. And now we're done sewing and ironing. This is what we have. Look how neat that is. Now the next thing to do here is to go ahead and join the sides of the fabric. So to join the sides, you pick them up just like that, always placing the right side to the right side, remember, just like so. Then we'll go ahead to sew it. That's the main fabric, and now this is the lining. Now we're done sewing both sides. This is what we have here. So now back to our, okay, no, before we get to the zip, let's hem the down part of the fabric. We'll do the same thing to the lining. The main fabric, we fold it, and then the lining, we do the same thing. Now we're done. As you can see, that's the fabric, and then this is the main that's the lining, and then the other one is the main fabric. So now to fix our zip, you make sure the upper part of the back parts are equal, and then you now sew out your 1 inch that you left for zip allowance. As you can see, we're not going to sew it all up. We're going to start somewhere. Wherever you want your zip to start and end is on you. So you begin somewhere, just sew it from there, just where I placed my hand, and then sew it down. You repeat the same thing for your lining. As you can see, all the way down from wherever you want your zip to stop, you sew down. Remember, 1 inch. See, now we're done sewing. That's the main fabric. We had sewn out the 1 inch, as you can see. And here is the lining. We did the same thing. So for you to get this right, you have to make sure that your sewings for both the lining and the fabric is starting from the same place. I don't know if I got that right. Okay, now let me use a tape. Let's measure the main fabric from the up to where our zip is going to be stopping. Yeah, as you can see, we have about 11.5 inch. That's where we started sewing from. Then from the for the lining, let's see what we have. We are going to be having 11.5 inch too, just to be accurate with our sewing. Yes, from the top there down to where we started sewing, 11.5. That's correct. So after doing that, we'll go ahead and fix our zip. And this zip, we are going to be fixing it on the main fabric first. Just like so. You sew it all the way up. We'll do the same, repeat the same process for the other side. Like that. Okay, now we're done sewing the zip to the main fabric. Please remember that the zip to the main fabric. We'll go ahead and bring down the zip. Remember that 1 inch allowance we left on the neck? Now we're going to close it up using our lining, just like so. You sew it up to the end like that. You repeat the same process on both sides. Now we're done sewing. This is what it looks like. As you can see, that's our zip there, our lining here. That's it. So we'll go ahead to cut out the excess zip. And now to join the lining to the fabric, please look carefully. That's how to do it. I really cannot explain this, but please look at the video properly. I have to repeat that again so you get it right. Just like so. You sew it down from up, yes, just like so, all the way down to where your zip ends. Remember, you're attaching your lining to your zip and to your main fabric. And now we're done. This is what we have, looking all neat and beautiful. That is what the inside looks like. Yes, that's it. And after doing all of that, we're going to go ahead to attach our bow that had already been prepared. And then this is what we have, a beautiful gown for a princess. Thanks for watching.